Hey everyone, in this episode of Traffic Bites, we're going to talk about Open Record Act requests. In my career, I've been involved in many of them, helping to gather and provide the information that's being requested through the Open Records Act requests. In dealing with them, one thing that's become clear to me is that lawyers often aren't familiar with standard maintenance practices or the operations of the signals themselves. They often don't know exactly what to request, standardly asking for timing plans. But that isn't everything. That doesn't show the complete picture. And in response to the request, they're often overloaded, inundated with everything, all aspects of the request, as to ensure that the request is fully fulfilled. The problem being, though, how do they decipher it? And that's where I come in. While conflict of interest was previously a concern, it's not necessarily a concern now. And while anybody can file an Open Records Act request, you need to know what you're looking for, what it is specifically that you should be asking for as it relates to the signal and the operations. So let's talk about what you should be asking for. First, a copy of the controller program on the date of the accident. This is going to show what the operations were on that day. Unfortunately, depending on how much time has elapsed since the accident, that information may have changed. The controller program may have changed since then. So in such a case, you want to ask what the current program is as well, and you want to ask for a log of all changes since the date of the accident. Next, you want to ask for a copy of the response and maintenance records. You want to look 6 months prior, 1 month post-accident. The goals for the 6 months prior is to see if there are any trending issues. And 1 month post is to see if there was any follow-up that was identified if there was an investigation at time of the accident. It's something that you would hope for. You would hope that the police would request that the signal operations be reviewed. It doesn't always happen. Actually, in my experience, it seldom happens. But it's something that you would hope for. Either way, you want those maintenance records. Next, you want to ask for a copy of the latest test for the CMU/MMU. The MMU is a malfunction management unit. Think of it as the security or the safety of the signal. If something fails, the MMU should be picking it up and should then send the signal to flash. So, is that operating properly? When was the last time that was tested? And when it tested, what were the results? Ultimately, what we would really like to do is have a copy of the recording of the accident itself. Something that we could turn over to the insurance companies to show, hey, it wasn't my fault. The truth of the matter is, most of those cameras aren't being recorded, and if they are being recorded, the recordings aren't retained normally for very long, often 30 days or less. And if they are being retained for longer, then it's something that it may be stored in the cloud, which is where the custodian of record comes into play. Open Record Act requests need to be submitted to the custodian of record. So for the agencies and for the signals, you would think that you would submit to the cities. Video may be different. You need to find out who the custodian of record is. So the first question would be, are you the custodian of record, or who is the custodian of record for video recordings? Also, are you recording? And if you are recording and you can find out who the custodian of record is, obtaining those recordings of the accident. That's going to be a little bit of a process. So I know this was a longer video, and I appreciate your time, and I hope this helps with any Open Record Act requests that you may be submitting. And if anything is needed, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out or comment below. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.